Alright guys, we picked up this old iron skillet from flea market. It looks like it's a pancake griddle or something. It's real shallow looking. And I just started sanding on it a little bit because it was very rusty. We had cleaned it with some steel wool. Try to get most of the rust off. You can see how rusty it was. Over here it was a lot worse than that. It was looked like it had been in a fire maybe. Look on the back here, like that may be some heat marks or something on there. Oh, that kind of reddish color. And this one's an old pan. This one's probably from the 1800s. It's got that gate mark on it right there. Real old pan. I'd say it was real crusty and someone threw it in the fire to try to clean it up. What I think happened to it. See how thin that is? Thing you could see, I don't know if you can tell right here, but you can see the gate mark right in there. Rust cast. That's where the gate mark is on this side. This has got a lot of porosity in it. Now I watched a video on YouTube, and they were saying that some of these were made by blacksmiths. They had the molds, and they would just go ahead and the blacksmith would make them because it was a lot cheaper for them to go ahead and cast them than to send out east or to some big city and have them shipped in. So this is possible. This could be a blacksmith special right here. Just looking at the crudeness of it. You know, the way it was poured. They may have had the mold and did it themselves. You know, kind of voids and wrinkles in there. So, there you go. Pretty interesting pan, though. I'm thinking it was some type of griddle. That's what it's designed for. Alright, here's that old rusty pan that we think is probably over 100 years old. And it was in a fire, looks like. So we're trying to season it. I took the sander to it to sand out all that burnt stuff that was on it. It was in pretty rough shape. It was rusted like you wouldn't believe. It looked like it was in a fire, and then someone had left it in the rain for a month. So I got most of that rust and everything off it, and then so we're just putting a little bacon fat on there, and we're gonna season it. We'll put, we rubbed a bunch of grease on it, wiped it off a few times to get some of the leftover rust off of it, and we're gonna just coat it with a good bit of bacon grease, and we're gonna bake it in the oven. Alright, here we go. We're seasoning our pan. We get on 500. I'm going to do it for about a half hour with that bacon grease on there. Get upside down. See, I'm getting a little smoke. I'll turn the fan on. Alright, well here's the iron pan after one time in the oven with some bacon grease on it to season it. It's got, you know, brown coating on it. I think wherever the pits were has absorbed the oil into the dirt that's in the pits. Like this pan started out really, you can see it's cratered up, pitted. We think it was cast by a blacksmith probably, because it's kind of rough the way it was made. So we're going to put another coating on there. Alright, here we go. That's layer number 2, seasoned in the pan with the bacon fat. Starting to come around. There's some pits, some low spots. The grease seems to soak into the dirt that's in them pits. Here's what the back looks like. It looks a little sticky on the back. Not too bad. No, it's not sticky. It's coming around now. That's looking like a pretty good pan. This would be a good pan for probably pancakes, since it's such a shallow pan. So every time I season it, I'm going 30 minutes, and I got it 450 degrees. That seems to be working pretty good. This is the vent here for the oven of this burner here. Take a look down in there, see? Goes right into the oven. And I'll see a little smoke coming out of there, so it's definitely caramelizing good. I just turned my fan on, put it on low. Alright, it's took the pan out of the oven. This is the third time I seasoned the pan all in one day, and here we go. It's looking pretty good. I think we can start frying in that now. What do you think? That'd be okay. It's a little
sticky.
A little sticky, yeah. They say to when you first season your pan, fry bacon or something oily in it, fried chicken or whatever. Look at the back of it now. That looks really good, doesn't it? I like the way the back looks.
Almost gets rusty.
I can bring it over here. Lights. Yep, I like it. Looks good. It's still a little blotchy because I sanded it, and some of these areas absorb the oil in. I just look in there, see those pits. We'll see. I'd say after cooking on this a while, it's going to look real good. Here's our other pans that are seasoned real good. That one doesn't get used much. But these, yeah, cornbread pan. That one gets used a lot. These are old. These are from the 80s, 1980s or something.
78.
78, 1978. These have been used since 1978. So, eventually, this one's going to come out nice and dark like that. And this one's, I bet it's at least 100 years old. Alright, there it is after first cooking. It's going to take a while to get good and black like this one here. I'd say another year. It should look pretty good.